Om Shanti. This is the Sakar MURLI of the 7th of January, 2015. The essence is, sweet children, if you want to become charitable souls, check your chart to see that you're not committing any sins and that you're accumulating truth in your account. Sweet children, if you want to become charitable souls, if you want to become Punya Atma, check your chart, check your Potamil, to see that you're not committing any sins and that you're accumulating truth in your account. The question is, what is one of the greatest sins? What is one of the greatest sins? The answer is, to have bad vision for anyone is one of the greatest sins. You children who are becoming charitable must never have bad or vicious vision for anyone. Check for yourself how long you stay in yoga and whether you are committing any sins. In order to claim a high status, take care never to have vicious vision, never to have kudrishti for anyone, and that you completely follow the elevated directions that the Father gives you. The song for today is, look at your face in the mirror of your heart. Mukhda dekh le prani.
मुखड़ा देख ले प्राणी दरा दर्पण में हो देख ले कितना पुण्य है कितना पाप तेरे जीवन में देख ले दर्पण में.
Om Shanti. The unlimited Father says to his children, examine within yourselves. People normally know how much sin and how much charity they have performed throughout their lives. Therefore, look at your chart daily and ask yourself, how many sins have I committed and how much charity have I performed? Did I upset anyone? Every human being can understand for himself what he has done in his life, how many sins have been committed and how much has been donated. When people go on pilgrimages, they make donations and perform charity. They try not to commit any sin. Therefore, the Father asks you children, how many sins have you committed and how much charity have you performed? You children now have to become charitable souls. Therefore, you must not commit any sins. There are innumerable kinds of sins. To have bad vision for anyone is also a sin. Bad vision is filled with vice. That is the worst of all. You must never have vicious vision for anyone. Normally, it is man and wife whose vision is vicious. Even Kumars and Kumaris sometimes have vicious vision. The Father says, you must not have any vicious vision, otherwise you would have to be called monkeys. That is the example of Narad. He asked if he could marry Lakshmi. You also say that you will marry Lakshmi, that you will become Lakshmi or Narayan from an ordinary woman or man. The Father says, ask your own heart to what extent you have become a charitable soul. Are you committing any more sin? To what extent do you stay in yoga? It is because you children have recognized the Father that you are sitting here. No one else in the world recognizes Baba or that this is Bap Dada. You Brahmin children know that the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, enters Brahma and gives you the treasure of the imperishable jewels of knowledge. The wealth that human beings have is perishable. That is what they donate. Those are just like stones. whereas these are jewels of knowledge. Only the Father, the ocean of knowledge, has these jewels. Each jewel is worth hundreds of thousands of rupees. You have to imbibe the jewels of knowledge given by the Father, the jeweler, and then donate them. To the extent that you take these jewels and donate them to others, you accordingly claim a high status. The Father explains, examine yourself and see how many sins you have committed. Check that you are not still committing any sin. You must not have the slightest impure vision for anyone. Continue to follow completely the Srimad that the Father gives you. You have to be cautious. Storms of Maya will come, but you must never act sinfully with your senses. If your vision becomes impure towards someone, you must never stand in front of that one, but walk away instantly. You can instantly tell when someone has vicious vision. If you want to claim a high status, you must remain very cautious. If you have impure vision, you will become crippled. You have to follow the Srimad that the Father gives you. Only you children recognize the Father. For instance, if Baba goes somewhere, only you children would know that Bap Dada has arrived. Many other people look at him, but they don't know anything. Therefore, if they ask who it is, tell them, it is Bap Dada. Each of you should have these badges. Tell them, Shiv Baba donates imperishable jewels of knowledge to us through this Dada. This is spiritual knowledge. The spiritual Father, the Father of all spirits, sits here and gives us this knowledge. These are the versions of God Shiv. In the Gita, it has been incorrectly written that God Krishna speaks. Only Shiv is called the ocean of knowledge, the purifier. Only through knowledge is there salvation. These are the imperishable jewels of knowledge. Only the one Father is the bestower of salvation. You should remember these words very well. You children understand that you know the Father, and the Father also understands that He knows you children. The Father would say, all of you are my children. However, not all of you know me. If it is in someone's fortune, he would know him later. If Baba goes somewhere and people ask who it is, it would definitely be with pure motive that they ask. Just tell them that it is Bap Dada. The unlimited Father is incorporeal. Until the Father comes into the corporeal world, how can we claim our inheritance from Him? Therefore, Shiv Baba adopts us through Brahma and gives us our inheritance. This one is Prajapita Brahma, and we are Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. The one who is teaching us is the ocean of knowledge. We receive our inheritance from him. This Brahma is also studying. He then changes from a Brahmin into a deity. It is so easy to explain these things. It is good to explain to anyone the significance of the badge. Tell them that Baba says, remember me and your sins will be absolved. You will become pure and go to the pure world. That Father is the purifier. We are making effort to become pure. By the time destruction comes, we will have completed our study. It is so easy to explain. When any of you are traveling, you should take some badges with you. Together with these badges, you should also have small amount of leaflets in which it is written, the Father comes into Bharat to establish the original eternal deity religion once again and have all the other innumerable religions destroyed in the Mahabharata war as they were in the previous cycle according to the drama plan. You should have 2 or 400,000 of such leaflets printed so that you can give them to anyone. At the top, there should be the image of the Trimurti, and on the other side, there should be the addresses of all the centers. You children should be concerned about service throughout the day. You children heard the song that you should examine your chart daily and ask yourself what your stage was like throughout the day. Baba has met many people who write an account of all day in their diary every night. They check whether they performed any bad acts. They write everything down because they think that if their biography is written in a good way, those who come later will learn from it. Only good people would write in this way. However, everyone is full of vices anyway. Here, it is not the same thing. You should check your chart daily and then send it to Baba so that you can make good progress. And there will also be attention for the future. You should write everything clearly. Today, I had a bad vision for someone. This happened. That happened. Baba calls those who make others unhappy deceitful. There is a burden of innumerable sins of many births on your heads. You now have to remove that burden of sins with the power of remembrance. You should check yourself daily. How deceitful have I been throughout the day? To cause someone sorrow means to be deceitful. It means you have committed a sin. The Father says, don't be deceitful or cause sorrow to anyone. Examine yourself to see how many sins you have committed and how much charity you have performed. Show this path to whomever you meet. Tell everyone very lovingly. You have to remember the Father and become pure. Whilst living at home with your family, become as pure as a lotus flower. Although you are at the confluence age, it is still Ravan's kingdom. Whilst living in this river of poison, filled with Maya, you have to become as pure as a lotus flower. A lotus flower has many children, has many buds, but in spite of that, it stays on top of the water. It is like a householder. It creates many things. That is, various parts of the lotus are edible. This example applies to you. Remain detached from vices, become pure in this one birth, and that will then become imperishable. The Father gives you imperishable jewels of knowledge, whereas everyone else just gives you stones. Those people only speak about devotional things. Only this one is the purifier, the ocean of knowledge. Therefore, you should love this Father so much. The Father is love for you children, and you children love the Father. You should have no connection with anyone else. Stepchildren are those who don't follow the Father's directions fully. They follow Ravan's dictates, and so those are not the directions of Ram. It has been Ravan's community for the last half cycle, and this is why this world is called corrupt. You now have to forget everyone else and follow the directions of the one Father. You still have to check for yourself whether the directions you receive through a Brahma Kumari are right or wrong. You children have been given the understanding of what is right and what is wrong. Only when the righteous one comes can he tell you what is right and what is wrong. The Father says, you have been listening to the scriptures for the last half cycle. on the path of devotion. Now, are they right? Or is what I tell you right? They say that God is omnipresent, and I am telling you that I am your Father. Now, judge for yourself who is right. All of this is explained to you, children. You can only understand this when you become Brahmins. There are many in Ravan's community, whereas you are very few, and that too is number-wise. Those who have impure vision for others belong to Ravan's community. Only when their vision totally changes and becomes divine can they be considered to belong to the community of Ram. Each of you can understand for yourself what your stage is. Previously, you had none of this knowledge. Now that the Father has shown you the path, you have to see to what extent you donate these jewels of knowledge. Devotees donate perishable wealth. You now have to donate these imperishable jewels of knowledge, not perishable wealth. If you have perishable wealth, use it for this alaukic service. By donating money to the impure, you too become impure. When you donate your wealth, you receive the return of that for 21 births in the new world. You have to understand all of these things. Baba keeps showing you many ways to do service. Have mercy for everyone. It is remembered that the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, creates the new world through Brahma. However, no one understands the meaning of that. They say that the Supreme Soul is omnipresent. Therefore, you children should be very interested in doing service. If you benefit many, you too will benefit. Day by day, Baba is making everything very easy. This picture of the Trimurti is very good. There is Shiv Baba and there is also Prajapita Brahma. He is establishing the divine kingdom of 100% purity, peace and happiness in Bharat, once again through you, Prajapita Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. All of the other religions are going to be destroyed in the Mahabharat war, just as they were a cycle ago. Print such leaflets and distribute them. Baba shows you such an easy path. You should also give out leaflets at the exhibitions. It is easy to explain with leaflets. The old world has to be destroyed. The new world is being created. The one original eternal deity religion is being established. All the other religions will be destroyed, just as they were a cycle ago. Wherever you go, you should always have some leaflets and badges in your pocket. Liberation in life within a second has been remembered. Liberation in life within a second has been remembered. Tell them that one is the Father and this one is Dada. By remembering that Father, you will claim a golden-aged deity status. There is the creation of the new world and the destruction of the old world, and they will then rule their kingdom in the new world, the land of Vishnu. It is so easy. People stumble along so much on pilgrimages, etc. Even Arya Samajis go stumbling on pilgrimages with a train full of people. That is called stumbling in the name of religion. In fact, that is stumbling in the name of irreligion. There is no need to stumble in the name of religion. You are now studying. People do so many things on the path of devotion. You children heard the song. Look at your face in the mirror of your heart. No one but you can see that face. You can show it to God. These things are knowledge. You're changing from ordinary humans into deities from sinful souls into pure, charitable souls. Other people know none of these things. No one knows how Lakshmi and Narayan became the masters of heaven. You children know everything. If your arrows strike their intellects, their boats can go across. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for dharana. The first point is, if you have perishable wealth, use it in a worthwhile way for alaukic service. You definitely have to donate the imperishable jewels of knowledge. I repeat, if you have perishable wealth, use it in a worthwhile way for alaukic service. You definitely have to donate the imperishable jewels of knowledge. The second point is, check your chart to see A, what your stage is like, B, whether you did anything wrong throughout the day, C, whether you caused sorrow to anyone, D, whether you had impure vision for anyone. Check your chart to see what your stage is like, whether you did anything wrong throughout the day, whether you caused sorrow to anyone, and whether you had impure vision for anyone. The blessing for today is, may you be filled with the treasure of happiness and finish any stock of wasteful situations with your stage of spirituality. May you be filled with the treasure of happiness and finish any stock of wasteful situations with your stage of spirituality. The explanation is, finish any stock of wasteful situations with your stage of spirituality. Otherwise, while speaking about the weaknesses of one another, you will continue to spread germs of illness into the atmosphere. By doing this, the atmosphere will not become powerful. Many souls will come to you with many intentions, but they should only take good wishes from you. This will only be possible when you have accumulated within yourself a stock of happy stories. If you have any wasteful matters in your heart for anyone, then the Father will not be where there are those things, but there will be sin. The slogan for today is, when the switch of awareness is on, you cannot have an off mode. When the switch of awareness, when the switch of smriti is on, you cannot have an off mode. The special homework for today is, this is to experience the avyakt stage. While experiencing newness at every moment, also put new zeal and enthusiasm into others. Dance in happiness and continue to sing songs of the Father's virtues. While sweetening your own mouth with a toli of sweetness, also sweeten the mouths of others with sweet words, sweet sanskars, and a sweet nature. Om Shanti.